Hi, I thought I'd do another video, this time a little less about me and why I'm doing the procedure for the Obalon balloon, and more along the what to expect. So, I just got finished with my first nutritionist appointment. Now, normally most people schedule their nutritionist appointment after they've had the Obalon balloon inserted. In this case, I opted to have it the day before, kind of give a certain expectation so I can go shopping and kind of get what I need, which I highly recommend. It kind of helps set the goals, set the tone for how your food is going to look for the future. I have my procedure tomorrow, 24 hours. I am extremely hungry, but unfortunately, they say that you should only have clear liquids 24 hours in advance, which I understand. And it's not just like, oh, stop eating at midnight. Like, they really want you to not eat anything. And even things like heavy meats and proteins, probably not good, even 48 hours before. So try to keep it light. Yesterday was my birthday. So I went out and I celebrated at a steakhouse and not thinking about it. So I talked to the nutritionist. She said it was fine. I just needed to really be strict on my diet today. So just something to be mindful of, including hydration, not just during the process, but prior to the process, making sure that you're staying really hydrated, because 12 hours before, you got to be liquid free. So just something to keep in mind, but your first day is going to be clear liquids, things like broth and ice cubes and that kind of thing. And then at day 2, you're going to go more into the pureed. So you're working your way up more to solid foods. Day 3, think garden veggie omelet or chicken and zucchini salad, or like a spaghetti squash, that kind of thing. And then day 4, you can start having more protein heavy stuff, things like protein shakes, or start introducing more ground up meat, but remember, chew your food. And then after about day 5, I mean, you're talking like taco lettuce wraps and that kind of thing. Frittatas, avocado scramble in the morning, something like that. Protein. Did I mention protein? Each meal is going to be about 30 grams of carbohydrates. Or, sorry, 30 grams of 30 grams of carbohydrates each meal. Remember, carbs are not your enemy. They are fuel. And making sure you're getting enough protein as well. Something interesting that I talked to the nutritionist about was more solid protein, not protein shakes. Protein shakes are better than nothing. But because they're already partially broken down proteins, it makes it more readily available for your body. So therefore you digest it faster, which means you want to stuff food in your face, which is what got us here. So more solid proteins, things like chicken, lean fish, that kind of thing. I am making it a goal to eat more fish. That's something I don't do enough of. I go straight to chicken because it's convenient and cheap. But yeah, part of this journey is to make some major dietary changes. Basically, once you're, hydration, I'll talk about hydration first. She was telling me something along the lines of like 16 ounces before breakfast and then 16 ounces before going to lunch, and like really making sure that you're getting in about 80 ounces of water a day. And keeping a water bottle at your desk is perfect. I am a water drinker. I love water. I will drink water all day long. I don't need flavor. I'm not one of those people. Maybe squeezing in some fruit might help for you. I have high acid, just naturally. I mean, not just because of the weight gain, but I've always had like really bad acid reflux. So the balloons are going to make it worse because your body is saying, hey, look, there's a foreign object in your body, so we need to digest it. Well, this is not something that's going to be digestible by your body. So you're just going to keep producing this acid over and over and over again. And it could possibly, you know, make you have really bad acid reflux, not lying down 3 hours after eating or drinking anything at night, which will help my evening cravings. But, yeah. If you have to infuse it with fruits or herbs, like mint would be really great too. I mean, that might help get more water, but really you want to be taking in about 80 to 100 ounces a day. Remember, fats are good for you, things like avocados, because fats create satiety. That means that you're feeling fuller, you're feeling more satisfied. So getting enough fats in your diet is just as important. So logging your food. My clients, when I was a personal trainer, know how at beginning of every session, what did you eat? What did you eat? What did you eat? Because nutrition is 100% losing weight. When I was doing a lot of research out there on like diet plans and that kind of thing, I mean, there's stuff out there, but really it comes down to convenience. So what is going to change my habit is to start prepping food. It sucks, but allocating time on Mondays, which luckily I have Mondays off, and maybe Wednesday nights, you know, because I have game nights on Thursday where we play D&D. So if you're picking 2 nights in the week, so that way you have that fresh food that you can allocate, because I hate cooking all my food in one day and then feeling like the end of the week I'm just getting like really nasty leftovers. Whatever works, but you need to make the time for yourself. In addition to hydrating and making sure you're eating properly, there's different tips that you can do to make you feel fuller faster. One is drinking 8 to 16 ounces of water before each of your meals. One thing that Balloon Mom mentioned is that drinking water kind of made it feel a little bit less. So, I mean, don't chug it, right? Just take it one sip at a time, but you need to also listen to your body. But protein can help boost your metabolism, and it definitely reduces appetite. Like I said, more of the solid protein versus protein shakes. But protein shakes, again, are better than nothing. At least 20 grams of protein each meal. So that's going to be about 3 to 4 ounces of protein to make sure that you're getting enough. And in my case, the nutritionist was telling me that I need to do meals versus grazing. Because that's how I got this way, because I'm a grazer. I'd rather eat little portions throughout the day. So for me, I might have more awareness and control by logging my food and keeping the strict meals versus trying to graze and getting calories when I can. Because I think we're all human, but we naturally will underestimate the calories we consume and overestimate the calories that we're burning. And at that point, it's just basic math. So just something to be aware about as you're going through this planning process. And planning meals is everything. If you can plan out, you're at a much higher rate of success because you already know what you're going to eat. You're not coming off of work going, oh, I'm hungry. What do I do? What am I in the mood for? No, I don't want to cook that. Like, if you can plan it, you're going to be at a higher rate of success. Things like fiber can help slow down digestion, but you need to drink a lot of water. And a problem that a lot of people have that do the balloon is not getting enough fiber, because you should be getting about 25 to 35 grams of fiber a day. Now, what is fiber? Fiber is just an indigestible carbohydrate. So it's something that your body's not able to absorb. It's going to help move things along, literally. And, you know, it gets ignored. But when you're eating more fiber, there's less room for other stuff, right? But fiber only works if you're staying hydrated. There are certain things like chewing your food, mastication. So if the first step in the digestive process is chewing your food, I shovel food in my face. So actually being mindful of the chewing process and making sure that your food is fully broken down before you ingest it is also going to help trigger your brain and say, hey, look, I'm eating, I'm not on a deserted island starving to death. Like, you know, so then the chemical process could begin telling your brain that you're full, or at least eating so that you can get fuller sooner versus stuffing your face until it hurts. And then now you've over consumed more calories than you really should be. It takes about 20 minutes, they say, to get that trigger. So sometimes even breaking your meal down into 2 parts kind of helps slow that process down as well. Chewing slowly, I just, for me, it's all about convenience and shoveling food in my face. I don't have kids. I have a fur baby, but I mean, other than that, I don't really have an excuse. I'm just bored. I'm going to the fridge eater, late night snacker. I eat barely anything during the day, but then at night it's like shoving food in my face. Like, oh, well, I barely ate anything. I can afford to eat this. And then I'm just feeling fat and gross and then laying down and going to bed. Being mindful and listening to your body is another trick that I think, just based on my past knowledge, just being mindful of what you're eating. If you're on your phone or you're watching TV, a lot of times you're kind of going through the motions. But if you can really sitting down especially helps you focus on what you're eating and being intentional about your food consumption will also help you go, oh, okay, you know what, I'm done, versus just consuming out of muscle memory. And in addition, if you're using smaller plates, your brain goes into this optical illusion effect of thinking you have more food than what you actually do. So I know it sounds stupid, but it totally works. So try it. Really, the only other thing I can think of is, like, if you're still hungry, flavor, chewing gum, that kind of thing will, again, the act of chewing, it's triggering your brain to thinking that you're eating. So you're less likely to fight through those hunger pains with difficulty. Peppermint tea, really good for settling the stomach. Ginger, candied ginger, is really good for nausea. Something my mom learned when she moved up the mountain in very windy roads. Ginger is actually a really good anti-nausea. So even some hot ginger water in the morning. What I'm hearing, again, I haven't had the balloon yet, I get it done tomorrow, is that it's basically like having morning sickness for 6 months, which I'm not looking forward to. So anything that's going to help the nausea, besides the Zofran, will be amazing. Other sources of protein could be things like chicken, turkey breast, skinless. You want Cornish hen, skinless, is also good. Any wild game, buffalo, elk, venison, eggs whites. I didn't used to like the yolk. Now I like the yolk. So now I've gone back to just doing egg white omelets in the morning with vegetables. Remember, all the colors of the rainbow mean you're getting full amounts of nutrients. Plain Greek yogurt, high protein, low sugar. Watch the sugar. But I'm trying to stay away from dairy, so this is going to be really hard. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, but I definitely feel like that's contributed to my sugar intake. Lactose, toast is sugar. Let's see, well, anything OSE is sugar. Sucralose, fructose, lactose. Fish, you want to eat salmon, halibut, cod, flounder, I'm trying to think, mahi-mahi, I don't like tilapia, but you can have tilapia if you like tilapia. Shellfish, things like clams, crabs, scallops, oysters, cottage cheese is another one you can have. Quality sources of fiber. Okay, so fiber can include avocados, chia seeds, flax seeds, fruit. You want berries that are lower in sugar, but high in fiber. So you just be mindful of carbohydrates. Sugar is sugar, whether it comes from fruit or it comes from a candy bar. Sugar. Nuts and seeds, and non-starchy vegetables. So things like bell peppers, asparagus, green beans, broccoli, zucchini, spinach. I hate collard greens, but collard greens would work too, or mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I could survive on mushrooms. And so that's pretty much it for the nutritional aspect. One thing that they did say is the colors of the rainbow. So different vegetables have different colors. Very Jack LaLanne. If you're eating from, mixing up your proteins, mixing up your fibers, that's really going to help kind of switch it up for people who get really bored of eating the same food over and over again. So just mix it up. There's plenty of sites available. And again, log your food. Log your food, measure your food, buy a scale, use the measuring cups. Because if you do not, again, you will be underestimating the calories you're consuming and therefore not losing weight, because you'll be working out thinking that you're in a bigger deficit than what you really are. A pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So if you want to lose 1 pound a week, you have to be in a deficit at 3,500 calories. That's 500 calorie deficit a day. Typically, people lose 2 pounds a week. I am hoping to lose 10 pounds a month, minimum. So, different for me, but if you're just looking for nutritional advice, this is a good place to start. So, thank you. Welcoming any feedback you guys have, and chiming in. Look, if the Atkins worked, if the ketos work for you, good for you. Remember, everyone's different. I've tried everything and haven't seen any results, so that's why I'm here. But hopefully I can provide some insight for others, and hopefully get some results and maybe some support. So thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful week. I'll give you guys an update tomorrow after the balloon's been inserted.